My child, my beloved, before I speak another word, I want you to simply take a breath. Inhale deeply and let go of the tension sitting heavily on your shoulders. Because once you hear what I'm about to say, your spirit will not remain the same. The way you look at your life is about to change forever. Heaven brought you to this exact place, to this exact screen, for a very specific reason. You did not click on this message by accident or by mere chance. You were guided, pulled, almost carried to this very moment by a divine hand. Sharing this message right now will multiply your favor and extend the blessing to those who need it. Send this to someone whose spirit needs lifting. And before I reveal the hidden truth about the house you are living in right now, I must tell you something even deeper. Listen to me carefully, my child. You have been watched since the early hours of the morning by the exact same light that protected you while you slept last night. The message you are receiving right now is incredibly powerful. It was delayed 3 times. It was blocked twice. It was resisted once by negative forces because of the heavy, liberating truth it contains. But divine law is absolute, and heaven finally said enough. Let the truth be delivered to my chosen one. My beloved, before I go a single step forward, I want you to do just one thing for me. Listen with your heart, not just your ears. Your logical mind might try to doubt, but your spirit knows the frequency of truth. And if you want more of these messages whispered directly from heaven into your life, make sure you stay connected, because the moment you do, the divine realm opens a clear, untouched path only for you. Subscribing to this channel is an act of obedience that secures your alignment with the new season. Click subscribe to stay under this flow of divine guidance. My child, now hear me clearly. Archangel Michael steps forward to say there are only 2 minutes left in this spiritual window, and I am ordered to speak quickly and truthfully. My beloved, I beg of you, do not take this lightly. This message is about the house where you rest your head. It is about the walls that hold your breath, the empty rooms that hold your silence, and the quiet shadows that hold a truth you are not currently seeing. My child, that house has witnessed something you do not know, something you were never told by the people you trust. And someone, yes, a woman, is about to be completely exposed. Heaven says with absolute authority, do not skip this. Do not turn away, not even for a single second. My beloved, the reason your heart might be beating a little faster right now is because your soul already knows this message was perfectly meant for you. You felt this coming, didn't you? You have been sensing something shifting in the place you live. It is like an invisible weight pressing down. The energy has been feeling entirely different. The air in your rooms has been whispering secrets you could not decode. The nights have felt far heavier than they should. Oh, the silence in your home has felt louder, almost uncomfortable. My child, I see you trying so hard to ignore the spiritual signs, but you cannot ignore this one. My beloved, this woman, yes, the very one you are thinking about right now. The exact name that silently rose to the surface of your mind just a moment ago. She has been walking through your life wearing a carefully crafted mask. It is a mask of kindness, a mask of friendship, a mask of false support that heaven is about to pull off completely. And the shocking part is she never expected that you would be shown the pure truth in this exact moment. Liking this video is an act of faith that accelerates the divine breakthrough over your life. Press the like button now to align your energy with this truth. My child, before I reveal her exact role and what she has done, you must listen to this spiritual principle. Your home is currently under strict divine observation. Every corner of your living room, every doorway you walk through, every place where you stand and worry about your future, heaven has been watching it all. And the reason I am speaking directly to you now is because something major is changing in your personal, spiritual atmosphere. My beloved, there is a massive shift happening. There is a movement of angelic forces, a lifting of old illusions, and a breaking of hidden dark intentions. My child, you are not alone in that house. Even on the nights when the loneliness feels so heavy you can barely breathe, even when you think you are entirely by yourself, angels have been guarding the windows, standing near the threshold, walking around you when you sleep, guarding your most vulnerable hours. If this word has resonated in your spirit and you sense that heaven is speaking directly to you, type Amen in the comments below. Let this be your public declaration, your agreement with what God is initiating, and your activation into the new season. And what those angels saw last night in the spiritual realm is the exact reason you are receiving this urgent message today. My beloved, the truth is quite simple, yet deeply profound. Someone tried to speak against your destiny. A woman tried to cover your hard-earned blessings with the thick, suffocating smoke of her jealousy. She tried to plant something dark and tangled in the spiritual space around your life. She tried to interfere with the angelic protection you were given by divine law. But heaven says you must rejoice, because she has already failed. My child, are you wondering how she failed when you did not even fight back? Because the very moment she attempted to cross into your spiritual territory, a light brighter than anything she had ever faced rose up aggressively inside your home. And that light, the light of divine protection, burned straight through every single negative intention she carried, my beloved. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith. And as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. But listen carefully to how the spiritual realm operates. She does not know she has already been exposed in the unseen world. She still thinks her mask is perfectly in place. She still thinks her secret envy is safely hidden. And soon, very soon, it will be exposed in the physical realm for you to see with your own two eyes. My child, heaven is not delivering this warning to scare you or make you anxious. Heaven is warning you to prepare you, because a massive revelation is coming directly to your house. My beloved, the very walls of your home will soon release the truth. A conversation you were never meant to hear will be revealed to you. Something hidden in the dark will suddenly make perfect sense in the light. A strange behavior you ignored in the past will suddenly appear in full, undeniable clarity. My child, this woman is absolutely not expecting you to find out. She thinks you are blind to her reality, but heaven says you will see it all. And when you finally do, you will understand exactly why heaven chose to deliver this message to you today and not a moment later. My beloved, listen deeply to your own experiences over the last few weeks. There is a spiritual reason you have felt so restless. There is a reason sleep hasn't touched your mind the way it used to, leaving you exhausted in the morning. There is a reason your spirit has been waking your body up at odd hours of the night. There is a reason you have been sensing something moving just behind the surface of your daily life. My child, what you are feeling is not random anxiety. It is not a medical issue. That is revelation knocking loudly on the door of your spirit. My beloved, the house you are living in is currently shifting into a brand new spiritual alignment. And when a divine shift happens, the truth simply cannot stay hidden in the shadows. It is forced into the light. And this woman, her truth is next in line to be revealed. Heaven says, you must be alert. You must be present in your daily interactions. You must pay attention to the small signs because her exposure is not random. It is a matter of perfect divine timing. My beloved, before I take you deeper into the mechanics of what she did, listen to this solid anchor for your soul. You are protected. You are deeply chosen. You are divinely watched over every second of the day. Absolutely nothing in that house will be permitted to harm you. No weapon formed against your peace will ever stand. Nothing sent to distract you from your goals will ever reach your spirit. My child, the reason you are hearing this message today is because a beautiful miracle is being aligned with your living space right now. Heaven is meticulously preparing your atmosphere for a breakthrough, and anything that does not belong in the pure frequency of that breakthrough will be forcefully removed, including her influence. My beloved, the energy this woman carried into your life was incredibly heavy. It was like carrying wet sand. It carried the weight of envy, the bitterness of comparison, a silent, simmering anger, and hidden intentions that she smiled through. And heaven says to you today, you must know her real truth before your next blessing arrives, because the blessing that is coming to you will change your home completely. It will overflow your cups, and she was never supposed to witness that level of favor. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. My child, the next few lines I speak will shake you gently, but they are spoken truthfully out of love. That woman had access to something in your life she should never have had access to. She saw parts of your heart and your home she was never supposed to see. And she tried to interfere with the destiny she could never, ever touch, my beloved. But heaven protected it firmly. And that is exactly why heaven is exposing her now. My child, listen now, with your spirit wide open. The house you are living in is not just a building made of wood, brick, and glass. It is a spiritual space. It is a divine doorway. It is a sacred resting place for the massive message and miracle that is traveling toward you. Someone tried to disturb that sacred space with their bitterness, but heaven says your home is about to be thoroughly cleansed from the inside out. My beloved, when the exposure finally happens, you will feel two things instantly in your body: total relief and absolute clarity. And right after that, a miracle will manifest, because the exposure of the false is what triggers your elevation into the true. My child, what she desperately tried to hide will show itself plainly. What she tried to twist with her words will untwist itself. What she tried to break in your confidence will restore itself stronger than ever before. And when the undeniable truth comes out, heaven says, you will finally understand the past. You will understand why your path felt slowed down, why frustrating delays appeared out of nowhere, why a thick fog of confusion entered your atmosphere. It wasn't you failing. It wasn't you doing something wrong. It was her heavy energy lingering around your sacred space like a dark cloud. But heaven has stepped in, my beloved. The intervention has begun. Your home is about to feel lighter than air. The atmosphere is about to glow with pure, unfiltered, divine light. If you are ready to release the heaviness and welcome the light, declare your agreement in the comments below. Amen. Let the act of writing these words be your public declaration, sealing this word and serving as an anchor of faith that activates the breakthrough God is initiating over your life right now. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, "This is not history. It is a living promise about your future." Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. The nights that once brought you tossing and turning will now feel profoundly peaceful. The days that once drained you before they even began will feel remarkably blessed. The suffocating heaviness that sat tightly on your chest will leave because I, Archangel Michael, have forcefully entered your spiritual space. My child, you are exclusively chosen to receive this divine revelation today. And as I guide you into the next part of this message, I will reveal exactly what she did in secret, why heaven stepped in to stop her in her tracks, and what beautiful miracle will happen in your home next. My child, my beloved, prepare your heart gently right now. Take another deep breath and anchor yourself in my protection, because what I am about to reveal will definitively answer questions you have carried silently in your spirit for months. My beloved, you have felt something slightly off in your home for a long time now. You tried to explain it away with logic. You tried to ignore it by staying constantly busy. You told yourself in the mirror, maybe it is just my tired mind. Maybe I am overthinking every little detail. Maybe I am simply imagining things. But heaven speaks clearly to you today to say you were never imagining anything. Your sensitive spirit was picking up on a real spiritual disturbance long before your physical eyes could ever recognize the source. My child, this is the very first undeniable sign you missed or brushed away. It was the sudden, unexplainable heaviness that enters a room when someone walks in carrying hidden, dark intentions. My beloved, do you remember those specific days when the air inside your living space felt thick and heavy for absolutely no reason? When you walked through your own front doorway, seeking refuge, and your physical body felt instantly exhausted? When you sat in the silence of your room, seeking peace, but the silence itself did not feel peaceful at all? I tell you now, that was not your imagination playing tricks on you. That was a clash of spiritual energy. It was her negative energy trying to press against your divine light. My child, heaven allowed you to feel that slight discomfort before revealing the absolute truth to you, because your spirit is far more awake, far more attuned, and far more powerful than you give yourself credit for. My beloved, the second sign heaven sent you was incredibly subtle, yet deeply powerful. Your own joyful laughter did not echo the way it used to inside the walls of your home. Have you ever noticed that when pure joy and divine gratitude enter a home, the very walls seem to respond and vibrate with warmth? But when fear, or worse, silent envy, enters a home, the walls grow tight and painfully quiet. Your beautiful home grew quiet, and heaven immediately noticed the shift. My child, this woman you trusted carried thoughts in her mind that never belonged anywhere near your sacred space. She carried toxic comparison, carefully wrapped up in superficial kindness. She carried deep jealousy, wrapped up in a soft, convincing tone of voice. She carried a hidden, simmering irritation, wrapped tightly in fake concern for your well-being. My beloved, do not dare to blame yourself for trusting her. Do not let guilt enter your pure heart. Heaven does not punish the innocent soul for offering their open heart to another. The fault is absolutely not found in your kindness or your willingness to see the best in people. The fault is entirely found in her hidden intentions. My child, hear this spiritual law clearly today. She vastly underestimated what heaven sees in the dark. She completely underestimated who watches over you while you sleep. She underestimated who you spiritually belong to. And because of that tragic miscalculation, she will now be completely exposed. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith. And as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. My beloved, you must deeply understand that this coming exposure is not an act of cruel punishment. It is an act of divine alignment. It is the raw truth rising to the surface. It is heaven actively correcting the spiritual atmosphere around your life. My child, you must grasp something incredibly important about the home you live in. A house holds far more than furniture and walls. A house holds living memories. A house holds vibrating energy. A house holds whispered secrets. A house holds your deepest, most desperate prayers. A house holds your purest intentions. And lately, unfortunately, your home has been holding a silent, invisible war between your radiant light and her lingering shadow. My beloved, do you finally know why you felt those sudden, crashing emotional shifts inside your own home? Some nights you felt entirely drained of life the very moment you lay down on your bed. Some mornings your drive and motivation completely disappeared without any logical reason. Some days you desperately wanted to leave your own house more than you wanted to stay inside its protective walls. Those were not random emotional fluctuations or signs of weakness. It was her dark, envious energy actively trying to cling to the corners of your spiritual space. But heaven decrees today that her grip has been permanently broken. My child, before I pull back the veil to reveal exactly what she tried to do in the spiritual realm, I need you to hear and absorb this truth. Your home is currently entering a massive divine cleansing process. The spiritual walls of your house are being washed with pure light. Every single dark corner is being intensely purified by angelic presence. The entire atmosphere is being completely reset to a frequency of total peace. Your long-awaited blessings are being prepared for their grand entry into your life. And because she carries a hidden heart, she simply cannot be part of the magnificent next chapter heaven is writing for you. My beloved, heaven has waited patiently for the exact right moment to reveal this heavy truth to you. If you had heard this message any sooner, your heart would not have understood the profound spiritual lesson. You would have been angry rather than enlightened. If you had heard this message too late, you would have suffered under her heavy energy much longer than necessary. But now, in this very second, your spirit is perfectly ready to receive. My child, listen carefully to the mechanics of her hidden attack. This woman intentionally tried to close a spiritual door that was specifically meant for your prosperous future. She tried to speak something dark and limiting into the delicate atmosphere of your home with a purely negative intention. She released toxic words into the air that could have seriously affected your path, had heaven not aggressively intervened on your behalf. My beloved, you must understand that words spoken with intense jealousy hold an actual, measurable weight in the spiritual realm. They are not empty sounds, but words spoken over you under divine protection hold supreme, unshakable power. And the divine protection covering your life completely canceled her negative intention the instant it left her spirit. My child, the very moment she dared to speak against your destiny, her toxic words fell flat to the ground like useless dust. They never reached your spirit. They never touched your bright destiny. They never penetrated your personal atmosphere. But heaven flawlessly recorded her dark intention. And heaven never ignores what is deceitfully whispered in the secret shadows. My beloved, the exposure that is rapidly approaching will not embarrass you or cause you public shame. It will entirely liberate your soul. It will free the trapped energy in your home. It will miraculously restore your inner peace. It will lift the suffocating spiritual heaviness you have been carrying on your shoulders for so long. The truth will not harm you. The truth will become your ultimate shield. Remember, liking this message is an act of faith that accelerates the divine breakthrough over your life, speeding up the arrival of your peace. But for her, the undeniable truth will boldly reveal everything she tried so incredibly hard to hide behind her fake smiles. My child, the divine exposure of her true nature will happen in one of three very specific ways. And because your spirit is awakening right now, you will know instantly which one it is the moment it unfolds. Heaven has designed it this way, so there will be no room for doubt in your mind. The first way, you will accidentally overhear something that was never meant for your ears. A whispered conversation, a slipped word in another room, a piece of gossip that travels back to you. The second way, someone entirely unexpected will come to you and tell you a shocking truth about her actions behind your back. Heaven will use a messenger you would never suspect to deliver the final piece of the puzzle. The third way, she herself, in a moment of arrogance or carelessness, will make a critical mistake and accidentally reveal her own dark truth directly to your face. My beloved, you may not expect it to happen today or tomorrow, but heaven assures you that the wheels of this exposure are already in motion. The spiritual dominoes have already begun to fall. My child, when it finally happens, you will feel something profound shift inside your chest. It will be a sudden, crystal clear clarity, a sudden deep understanding of everything that has felt wrong, a sudden, overwhelming lightness in your soul. Because heaven has been waiting to remove her influence from your home so your true blessings can enter freely. If this message confirms what your spirit is sensing, type Amen in the comments. Let this be your public declaration, your agreement with what God is initiating, and your activation into the new season of freedom. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. My beloved, the blessing that is currently traveling toward your home is significantly bigger than your human mind can currently comprehend. And heaven, in its infinite wisdom and protective love, will absolutely not allow anyone harboring hidden bitterness, secret envy, or malicious intent to stand anywhere near the epicenter of your incoming miracle. That is exactly why she must be removed. That is exactly why her mask must fall. My child, your gentle heart may genuinely wonder, why was she like this? Why did she go out of her way to act so kindly right in front of my face? only to carry something so dark and destructive behind my back? Heaven answers this painful question gently, wrapping the truth in comfort. Because your pure, radiant light deeply irritated the hidden darkness living inside of her. Your genuine peace actively threatened her deep-rooted insecurities. Your natural, effortless glow constantly reminded her of the spiritual peace she could not control or attain. Your bright, expansive destiny made her feel incredibly fearful and small. So, rather than doing the hard work of healing her own spirit, she chose to hide behind a sweet smile she never actually meant. My beloved, but heaven is entirely done with false masks. Heaven is done allowing hidden intentions to fester in your sacred space. Heaven is done letting dark shadows linger near the holy threshold of your incoming blessing. This is the exact, ordained moment the pure truth rises to the surface like bright sunlight breaking through a dark storm. My child, now listen closely to the shift. Your home is about to feel fundamentally different. As the process of her exposure begins, something will noticeably shift in the physical environment around you. Maybe it will be a change in the literal air you breathe. Maybe it will be a sudden, comforting warmth filling the center of your living room. Maybe it will be the way your spirit instantly relaxes the second you walk through the front door. This subtle but undeniable shift will be the very first physical sign that the grand divine cleansing has officially begun. And once the holy cleansing starts, her undeniable truth will swiftly follow. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. My beloved, the next part of this divine message will reveal exactly what dark seed she attempted to plant in your life, why heaven's angels stepped in to stop her instantly, and how your beautiful home will permanently transform after her exposure is complete. Breathe slowly and trust the process. Heaven is fighting for you. My child, my beloved, I want you to breathe very slowly right now. Allow the rhythm of your breath to calm your racing mind, because this is the exact part of the message where the deep hidden truth begins to uncover itself, layer by painful layer, exactly the way heaven has written it for your ultimate understanding. My beloved, listen with your inner ear, your spiritual senses, rather than your logical mind. Because what I am about to confidently reveal to you is not ordinary information. It is not casual advice. It is not something you hear every single day on the street. Heaven has patiently waited for the absolute perfect second, the right breath, the exact moment of divine alignment to bring you here to hear these words. My child, here is the raw, unfiltered truth you were never supposed to miss, but that she desperately hoped you would. That woman, the one whose mask is cracking, tried to forcefully enter your personal spiritual atmosphere without a single ounce of divine permission. My beloved, she did not physically break into your home to steal your possessions, but she attempted something far more dangerous in the unseen realm. She actively tried to enter the delicate, sacred energy of your home. She tried to stealthily slip into the holy space that heaven has specifically assigned and sanctified only for you. And heaven, in all its mighty power, absolutely did not allow it to happen. My child, let me break this down and explain it to you clearly in the absolute simplest spiritual language possible, so your heart fully grasps the magnitude of this protection. A home is never just walls, floors, and a roof over your head. A home is a living, breathing, spiritual container. A home is the vessel that holds your most desperate, tear-stained prayers. A home softly holds your quiet tears in the midnight hours. A home securely holds your biggest, most fragile dreams for the future. A home physically holds your divine protection. When someone who carries deeply negative intentions, heavy jealousy, sour bitterness, and quiet resentment steps into that space and tries to maliciously influence the pure atmosphere of your home, heaven responds with immediate, overwhelming force. And that, my beloved, is exactly what happened under your roof. This woman walked into your sacred private space carrying a profoundly hidden toxic energy. She carried a massive weight of envy inside her heart that she forcefully refused to show on her physical face. She smiled at you, yes, but that smile was not pure. It was a performance. She spoke kindly to your face, but her inner spirit was loudly whispering something entirely different and dark. She pretended to deeply care about your well-being, your success, and your peace, but her true inner intentions were tangled, darkened, and completely out of alignment with your light. My child, she felt intensely threatened by your beautiful destiny. She felt threatened by your natural, effortless glow. She felt deeply threatened by the undeniable divine favor that constantly surrounds you. She felt threatened by your bright future and the strong spiritual protection you visibly carry. And because she felt so small, she foolishly tried to disturb the perfect, peaceful harmony of your home's atmosphere. But she forgot one massive, unchangeable spiritual rule. You are not unprotected. You are not left uncovered in the cold. You are not spiritually walking through this life alone. You are securely resting under the impenetrable, fiery shield of heaven itself. My beloved, the very moment she stepped over the threshold of your space carrying those heavy, hidden intentions, the mighty angels surrounding your home immediately stood taller. My angelic presence as Michael grew infinitely stronger in the room. The very spiritual air in your house aggressively shifted to push back against her toxic energy. She arrogantly thought she left your home completely unnoticed. She smugly thought she successfully hid her dark inner thoughts. She thought her sweet, supportive mask stayed perfectly in place. But heaven's eyes never blink, and heaven saw absolutely everything she tried to do. My child, she tried to purposefully speak something dark into the foundation of your home. Maybe it was with muttered words under her breath. Maybe it was with intensely negative, jealous thoughts. Or maybe it was just a silent, vibrating resentment she aimed directly at your back. It wasn't a loud attack. It wasn't physically obvious to human eyes. It wasn't visible in the natural world. But in the highly sensitive spiritual realm, her dark intention echoed loudly like a banging drum. And in that spiritual echo, heaven responded with absolute authority. Liking this video right now is an act of faith that accelerates the divine breakthrough over your life. Let your action mirror your spiritual readiness. My beloved, I want to take you back to a specific night. That night, something major happened inside the walls of your home. It was something you absolutely did not see with your physical eyes, but your deep, intuitive soul felt it vividly. The air in your bedroom suddenly felt strange and thick. The silence in the house felt heavy, almost suffocating. The night felt infinitely longer than usual, dragging on with a strange, uncomfortable tension. Do you remember how heaven moved to protect you during that specific night? My child, your physical body couldn't sleep properly, and you kept tossing and turning because your guardian angels were actively fighting off an invading energy that absolutely did not belong anywhere near you. There was a massive spiritual cleansing taking place right over your bed. It was an invisible battle you didn't have to witness, but one that heaven easily won on your behalf. This hidden battle is exactly why you woke up the next morning feeling utterly exhausted, even though your body had technically rested in bed for hours. This is exactly why your mood shifted so suddenly and drastically, without any logical reason. This is why your daily thoughts felt cloudy and disconnected. This is why your precious heart felt uneasy and anxious. This is why your dreams felt strange, chaotic, and stressful. I assure you today it was not normal stress. It was not mere human confusion. It was absolutely not your imagination working overtime. It was serious, protective spiritual work happening all around you while you tried to rest. My beloved, hear this truth clearly and let it wash over your tired spirit. The very moment she released her silent, toxic intention towards you, heaven crushed it instantly into dust. The moment she tried to secretly curse your deep peace, heaven turned the curse away and sent it back to the void. The moment she tried to cast a dark cloud over your incoming blessings, heaven kept those blessings completely untouched and radiant. The moment she tried to disturb the sanctuary of your home, heaven protected it with a wall of spiritual fire. Absolutely nothing she tried to do succeeded. Nothing she plotted and planned worked out in her favor. Nothing she whispered held power because heaven stands fiercely between you and harm. If you receive this divine shield, declare your agreement in the comments below. Amen. Let the act of writing these words be your public declaration, sealing this protection and serving as an anchor of faith. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith. And as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. My child, that profound, unshakable protection is exactly why she will now be brought into the light and exposed. It is not because heaven is petty and wants to publicly shame her. It is not because heaven operates in revenge and wants to cruelly punish her. It is simply because heaven desperately wants to prepare the physical and spiritual atmosphere of your home for the massive, life-altering miracle that is currently on its way to you. Her dark presence, her heavy energy, her tangled intentions, they simply cannot exist in the same space as your pure, holy blessing. They repel each other. My beloved, your next major blessing is far too pure, far too large, and far too divine to share a single inch of space with someone who carries a hidden, envious heart. This is the spiritual law of alignment, and this is exactly why her exposure is not just necessary, it is mandatory. My child, I will now pull back the curtain and reveal exactly what she attempted to do in much more detail. Listen carefully with an open spirit, because once you finally hear this, every single strange thing that has happened recently will make perfect, logical sense. She actively tried to plant the heavy seed of doubt in your mind. She tried to plant the suffocating seed of fear in your heart. She tried to plant deep spiritual misalignment in your daily path. She tried to plant a thick, frustrating blockage directly in front of your upcoming breakthrough. She tried to plant swirling confusion right near the doorway of your success. But heaven, acting as the ultimate protector of your soul, uprooted every single one of those dark seeds before they could even sprout in the soil of your life. My beloved, this spiritual interference is exactly why you suddenly felt so incredibly disconnected from the comfort of your own home at certain times. This is exactly why you felt deep in your bones, like something in your life was completely out of balance. This is why small, frustrating things kept going wrong. Keys lost, objects breaking, minor delays piling up. This is why your emotions suddenly felt so unpredictable and fragile. This is why your inner spirit felt restless, constantly pacing back and forth seeking answers. All of that discomfort was her dark seed desperately trying to take root and grow in your space. But it died of starvation before it ever touched your brilliant destiny. My child, now hear this with the absolute seriousness and gravity that heaven intends. The divine cleansing has begun, and the signs of her exposure are going to manifest rapidly. You must pay close attention to the signs, because her exposure is not a random event. Taking a second to subscribe is an act of obedience that secures your alignment with the new season, ensuring you do not miss the signs heaven sends. Heaven never moves in your life without leaving breadcrumbs for your spirit to follow. There are signs currently forming around you, signals that this negative energy is being expelled from your life forever. The first profound sign is that you will physically feel the atmosphere in your home begin to shift. One day very soon, you will walk into a room in your house, perhaps your bedroom or your living room, and the literal air will feel unexpectedly lighter, almost as if a window had been opened after a long, stuffy winter. A deep, settling peace that you haven't felt in a very long time will drop over your shoulders like a warm, comforting blanket. You won't logically understand why it feels so good at first, but that beautiful shift is your first confirmation that heaven is scrubbing your home clean. The second sign is incredibly subtle but deeply powerful. The small, frustrating things that have been going wrong repeatedly will suddenly, miraculously start going right. If your sleep has been constantly disturbed, you will suddenly sleep through the night. If your daily thoughts have been clouded with anxiety, they will clear up like a sunny day. If small things in your home kept breaking or going off track, they will suddenly correct themselves naturally and effortlessly. This is not a lucky streak. This is heaven systematically restoring divine order inside the walls of your home. The third sign will strike like lightning through your intuition. You will have a sudden, undeniable moment, a flash, a deep inner stirring, a sudden quiet knowing in your gut about the specific woman who is about to be completely exposed. Her exact name and face will naturally rise in your mind without any warning. It will not come to you through feelings of fear or anger, but through a lens of absolute cold clarity. You won't have to force the thought. You won't have to go searching for clues. You won't even be consciously thinking about her when it happens. The raw truth will simply arrive and settle in your spirit. That is heaven actively pulling back the veil, showing your spirit what your physical eyes have not fully seen yet. My beloved, heaven is setting the stage. The darkness is fleeing, and your brilliant light is being fully restored. The fourth sign heaven will send you will physically manifest in her behavior. A person who intentionally hides their dark intentions always, without fail, reveals those same intentions when the heavy pressure of heaven begins to expose them. You will quickly notice that she will become noticeably uneasy around your light. She might become suddenly avoidant, taking longer to reply or making excuses not to see you. She may become randomly defensive over simple conversations, or suddenly fall completely silent when she used to be loud. Or, conversely, she might become overly kind, pouring on a fake sweetness in a way that feels incredibly forced and unnatural to your spirit. Her carefully constructed mask will begin to crack right in front of your eyes. My beloved, there will be a very specific moment when she acts completely differently around you. She will be either entirely too distant or uncomfortably too close, far too quiet or nervously too talkative. She may desperately avoid making direct eye contact with you. She may talk in confusing circles, trying to distract you. She may rapidly shift her physical energy when you walk into the room. You must understand that this is the literal spiritual weight of her impending exposure, pressing down heavily on her conscience. My child, the fifth sign is perhaps the most undeniably important of them all. Her hidden truth will finally slip out right in front of you. It may not be a massive, dramatic confrontation. It may not be loud or explosive. It may not even be visibly destructive. In fact, it may be something incredibly small and subtle. It could be a slightly wrong word spoken in passing, a sudden, accidental confession, a story she simply cannot keep straight, or a harsh reaction she fails to hide in time. It might be a text message she accidentally sends to the wrong place, or a casual comment from someone else that accidentally exposes her true feelings about you. This is exactly how heaven exposes the dark, through the smallest, tiniest crack in the false mask. My beloved, you will know the absolute truth instantly. The profound realization will hit your pure heart like a bright light turning on in a pitch-black room. Everything from your past interactions that simply didn't make logical sense will suddenly align perfectly. The strange, uneasy feelings you previously had about her will suddenly become crystal clear. Your inner spirit will whisper gently to you, "This is it. This is the truth." And in that exact moment of revelation, your deep peace will finally rise and conquer the confusion. My child, the sixth sign is deeply spiritual and incredibly powerful. You will physically and emotionally feel lighter inside your own home. The very room you sleep in will feel remarkably brighter, as if a thick layer of dust has been wiped from the windows. Your breathing will feel fuller and less restricted. Your daily thoughts will feel vastly clearer, no longer tangled in a web of unseen negativity. Your physical body will feel far more energized upon waking. Your sleep will become uninterrupted and profoundly deep. It is the glorious, undeniable feeling of heaven successfully reclaiming your personal, sacred space. My beloved, the seventh sign is a beautiful blessing, brilliantly disguised as a simple shift in perspective. You will suddenly receive unexpected, crystal clear clarity about your next major steps in life. When toxic, negative energy is finally forced to leave a home, the beautiful future suddenly becomes visible. Blocked paths swing wide open. Creative ideas begin to flow effortlessly. Amazing new opportunities mysteriously appear out of thin air. Heavy, burdened decisions suddenly become incredibly easy to make. Thick confusion entirely disappears, and a strong, enduring peace becomes your foundation. This is heaven meticulously preparing your home for your next divine season. Show heaven you are ready by liking this video, an act of faith that accelerates the divine breakthrough over your life and secures your coming miracle. My child, the eighth sign will involve a sudden, profound emotional release. You may suddenly find yourself feeling like crying without logically knowing why the tears are falling. You may suddenly feel an overwhelming wave of relief wash over your chest. You may suddenly feel incredibly hopeful about tomorrow. You may suddenly feel deeply, intensely thankful for your life. Please do not fear these emotions. That is simply your pure spirit physically releasing the heavy, stagnant energy that wrongfully entered your home through her presence. It will absolutely not be a feeling of sadness. It will be the feeling of a massive, spiritual cleansing washing your soul clean. My beloved, the ninth sign is something exceedingly rare, a gift that only chosen, highly protected souls get to experience. You will undergo a sudden, massive rise in your spiritual awareness. You will start understanding complex situations entirely differently. You will start seeing far beyond the shallow surface of the people you meet. You will start sensing physical and spiritual energies clearly the moment you enter a room. You will start recognizing hidden intentions instantly, long before a person ever speaks a word. You will start feeling energetic changes in the atmosphere even before they physically happen. This is the powerful awakening heaven gives only to those who are divinely protected. Subscribing is an act of obedience that secures your alignment with the new season. Make sure you are subscribed to keep your spiritual awareness sharp. My child, the 10th and final sign is the absolute most powerful confirmation of all. Something incredibly big. Something you have been waiting on for a long time will perfectly align for you right after her true nature is exposed. It will be a massive breakthrough, a long-awaited blessing, a crucial divine message, a sudden financial shift, a miraculous relationship restoration, or a huge, wide-open door of opportunity, because her heavy energy was literally standing like a brick wall between you and the beautiful future heaven was preparing for you. Once she is fully exposed, your blessing will drop into your life without any further delay. If your heart is ready for this miracle, type Amen in the comments below. Let this be your public declaration, your agreement with what God is initiating, and your activation into your season of abundance. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. My beloved, hear this spiritual reality very clearly today. Her exposure is not an ending. It is the grand doorway to your ultimate elevation. The very moment her ugly truth finally comes out into the light, the heavy door to your next great miracle opens incredibly wide. My child, this is exactly why heaven is urgently pleading with you not to skip this message or brush it off as coincidence. The perfect divine timeline of your precious life is officially entering a massive new movement of grace. And the undeniable exposure of this woman is the ultimate trigger that sets it all into motion. My beloved, now that you deeply understand the 10 signs to watch for, I will gently reveal the much deeper, profound spiritual reason heaven specifically chose to expose her right now, in this exact season, and what beautiful things heaven has been meticulously preparing for you behind the unseen scenes. My child, my beloved, we are now entering the absolute deepest, most sacred part of this divine revelation. What I am about to tell you is something heaven has been patiently waiting to reveal to your heart for a very long time. You simply were not ready to hear this truth before today. Your gentle heart was not steady enough to handle the weight of it. Your inner spirit was not quite strong enough to process the reality of her betrayal without crumbling. But today, right now, you are perfectly prepared. My beloved, listen to my voice with absolute stillness. Let every single spoken word settle deeply into the soil of your soul. The exposure of this hidden woman is absolutely not happening to hurt you, punish you, or make you cynical. It is happening to completely release you from a cage you didn't even know you were living in. My child, heaven has proudly watched you walk through this difficult life with a beautiful heart that loves deeply, trusts quickly, forgives entirely, too easily, and physically carries the burdens of others even when they do absolutely nothing to deserve your kindness. This beautiful, soft empathy is both your absolute greatest gift and the exact reason some broken people entirely misunderstand your strength. Your heart is purely motivated. Her intentions were terribly not. Your spirit is wonderfully open and honest. Her spirit was deeply conflicted and guarded. Your energy is a beacon of truth. Her energy was a shadowy web of secrets. And heaven, in its perfect protective justice, will never ever allow someone with a deeply hidden, envious heart to indefinitely stand in the way of a chosen soul's magnificent destiny. My beloved, now I will tell you the far deeper reason heaven is choosing to expose her right now, not a year earlier, and not a single day later. Your next massive blessing requires an absolutely clean, completely uncontaminated atmosphere to survive and thrive. My child, heaven has prepared something truly enormous for your future. It is significantly bigger than anything you can currently imagine. It is bigger than the things you have actively prayed for. It is bigger than your current frustrating situation. It is vastly bigger than your deepest fears, and it is beautifully bigger than the pain of your past. This specific blessing traveling toward you is absolutely not ordinary. It is not casual, and it is not simple. It is entirely life-changing. It will dramatically affect your finances. It will beautifully affect your personal relationships. It will peacefully affect your mind. It will calm your anxieties. It will bless your future home. It will radically affect your entire life's direction. And heaven, in all its wisdom, will absolutely not deliver a holy blessing of this immense magnitude into a physical space contaminated by someone who secretly carries envy, doubt, or hidden resentment toward your success. My beloved, your home is right now about to become holy, sacred ground. It will be a safe place where miracles effortlessly grow. It will be a sanctuary where peace permanently stays. It will be a fortress where divine protection constantly deepens. It will be a lighthouse where your true destiny becomes clearer every single day. It will be a quiet room where heaven speaks to you without a single ounce of dark interruption. But before any of that beautiful reality can physically manifest, every single drop of wrong, toxic energy must be forcefully removed from the premises. And this woman, her lingering energy was the absolute last remaining weight dragging down your spiritual space. She was the final, stubborn shadow hiding in the corner of your beautiful home. She was the absolute final piece of spiritual interference, blocking the full, rushing flow of your incoming blessing. So heaven waited. Heaven watched her every move. Heaven securely protected your mind. Heaven prepared your heart. And now, today, heaven is decisively acting on your behalf. My child, hear this divine logic clearly. If her dark truth had been revealed to you a year earlier, you would have been deeply confused and heartbroken. If her truth had been revealed to you years later, it would have tragically delayed your massive blessing. But right now, heaven is perfectly revealing her right on time. My beloved, the divine timing of this universe is absolutely flawless. You are now spiritually strong enough to handle it. You are emotionally ready to let her go. You are mentally sharper than ever before. Your deep discernment has finally awakened from its slumber. Your gut intuition is louder than it has ever been. Your spiritual protection is incredibly thick. Your alignment with your destiny is rapidly rising. This is exactly why heaven chose today for this revelation. My child, the deeper reason for her sudden exposure is this very truth. She was physically and energetically standing in a sacred place that was meant to be completely empty right before your miracle arrived. Her toxic presence was occupying valuable space that heaven now urgently needs to fill with something brand new and beautiful. Her negative influence was touching a delicate corner of your life that heaven actively needs to cleanse. Her hidden intention was casting a dark, gloomy shadow right where heaven needs full, blinding light. Her heavy energy was actively blocking the flow of divine movement, wealth, and abundance in your home. Because financial blessings, opportunities, and abundance simply cannot flow freely in a spiritually contaminated atmosphere. Her heavy, jealous energy was literally acting as a dam, blocking your financial abundance from reaching your door. This is heaven permanently removing the block. Liking this video is an act of faith that accelerates the divine breakthrough over your life. Do this now to welcome the financial flow. My beloved, you must understand that heaven will never, under any circumstances, pour fresh, pure water into a vessel that still secretly holds a drop of poison. Your massive blessing requires absolute purity. Your incoming elevation requires total, unrestricted freedom. Your impending breakthrough requires a crystal clear environment. Your beautiful miracle requires complete spiritual cleanliness, and that is the exact reason why she simply must be exposed and removed. Because heaven has been guarding this massive blessing until your atmosphere is fully purified. Subscribing right now is an act of obedience that secures your alignment with the new season, anchoring your spirit to the blessings on the way. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by supporting mdevotional, making a donation, or becoming a member of our mdevotional community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, "This is not history. It is a living promise about your future." Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. My child, now I want you to hear the part of this divine revelation that most people never truly understand about the way the spiritual realm operates. Sometimes, heaven actively removes a person from your inner circle, not necessarily because they are inherently evil in their core, but simply because their ordained season in the beautiful story of your life has permanently ended. Her specific season in your life has completely ended. Her physical and emotional presence in your daily routine has expired. Her spiritual connection to your personal energy has expired. Her ability to influence the atmosphere of your home has officially expired. Her assigned role in your life's ongoing spiritual journey has expired. Heaven will now permanently disconnect her heavy energy from your home and your heart. My beloved, after she is fully exposed to the light, something absolutely remarkable will happen in your daily life. It is something that will give you instant spiritual goosebumps. It is something that simply cannot be explained logically to anyone who has not experienced it. It is something only awakened spiritual eyes can truly see and appreciate. Your physical home will suddenly feel entirely new. Even though absolutely nothing physically changed in the structure, even though the living room furniture is exactly the same, even though the paint on the walls is the exact same color, even though the empty rooms are the exact same size, the underlying feeling will be completely different. The spiritual vibration of the space will be entirely different. The very air you breathe will taste different. The silence in the house will feel incredibly peaceful and warm, rather than heavy and isolating. Your nightly rest will be remarkably deep, not broken or disturbed by unseen forces. Your mornings will feel bright and deeply hopeful, not drained and exhausted. Your nights will feel secure and comforting, not uneasy or anxious. All of this will happen because heaven has officially taken back your spiritual space. My child, the grand divine reason behind all of this uncomfortable transition is incredibly simple, yet deeply beautiful. You are actively stepping into a completely new spiritual chapter of your life. And every single new chapter in the divine timeline begins with a massive, thorough cleansing of the old. My beloved, you are beautifully entering a brand new season of impenetrable protection. You are entering a new season of absolute clarity. You are entering a new season of massive financial growth and abundance. You are entering a new season of unshakable emotional stability. You are entering a new season of profound spiritual awakening. You are entering a new season of pure, direct, divine communication. Heaven has specifically chosen your soul for this magnificent transformation, and heaven will absolutely not let anyone, especially someone carrying hidden envy, interfere with the process. This masked woman simply did not know who she was foolishly dealing with. She did not know how fiercely protected you truly are by the divine realm. She did not know that legions of warrior angels actively surround you night and day. She did not know that your beautiful home is heavily guarded by powerful divine forces. She did not know that your precious name is permanently written in the highest heavenly records. She did not know that heaven watches and directs every single step you take, but now she will undeniably know. My beloved, in this final part of the message, I will reveal exactly why this specific woman was ever allowed near your brilliant light in the first place, what her ultimate hidden purpose was, and exactly how heaven brilliantly used even her darkest hidden intentions for your massive personal growth. My child, my beloved, you have reached the summit of this message, where heaven reveals something most people go their entire lives without ever discovering. You might be asking yourself, why was this woman allowed near me at all? Why did heaven allow her toxic presence to enter my peaceful life? Why was her heavy energy permitted to touch the sacred walls of my home? And why did heaven not simply remove her earlier before any of this discomfort happened? My beloved, heaven never ever allows anything to happen without a profound underlying purpose. Even the deeply painful things, even the intensely confusing things, even the dark hidden intentions you could not physically see at the time. My child, listen with complete calmness and trust. Her uncomfortable presence in your life had a highly specific divine purpose. Not because she was ever meant to stay in your future, but because she was meant to teach you, to reveal hidden truths to you, to expose your own vulnerabilities, and to intensely prepare you for what is coming. Yes, my beloved, even her completely wrong, misguided intentions were masterfully used by heaven to build and strengthen your beautiful spirit. Let me explain the 4 profound divine reasons she originally entered your sacred space. First, my child, you have an incredibly gentle heart, a wonderfully soft spirit, and a purely innocent intention toward others. You trust people very quickly. You love them very deeply, and you forgive them far too easily. And I tell you now, heaven absolutely treasures this beautiful quality in you. But heaven also desperately wanted to sharpen your spiritual vision and your gift of discernment. This woman's hidden, envious heart was deliberately permitted to come near your life so you would finally learn how to see far beyond fake smiles, far beyond sweet words, and far beyond shallow physical appearances. You were always meant to grow spiritually from this specific encounter. And because of her, your mind is now infinitely wiser. Your inner spirit is significantly sharper. Your gut intuition is incredibly stronger. Your spiritual eyes can now confidently see the truth, even in the dead of silence. Her toxic presence miraculously awakened your highest spiritual intelligence. Second, my beloved, you are rapidly ascending. Heaven is currently preparing to heavily elevate your life, but you must understand that not everyone can rise with you to this new altitude. Not everyone can handle the weight of your incoming blessing. Not everyone deserves VIP access to the absolute best, most healed version of you. This woman's temporary presence boldly showed heaven, and boldly showed you, exactly who must be forcefully removed before your great elevation truly begins. Her public exposure is absolutely not a punishment. It is a necessary divine separation. It is a clean separation between the painful place where you used to be and the glorious destination where heaven is actively taking you. Third, my child, your home is not an ordinary structure. As I have told you, it is a spiritual sanctuary. It is a holy place heaven fiercely protects. It is the exact place where your biggest blessings will physically land. But right before that massive blessing could safely arrive, the entire space needed a deep, spiritual cleansing. Her negative energy acted as a mirror, clearly revealing to you exactly what needed to be permanently removed from your environment. Her presence literally triggered the spiritual purification process. Her dark intention was the very thing that activated the highest level of angelic protection around your life. She unknowingly and foolishly initiated the very divine cleansing that will now beautifully transform your home into a fortress of peace. Fourth, my beloved, you needed to deeply learn that not every gentle voice carries gentle intentions. Not every soft, comforting tone holds soft, healing energy. Not every bright smile is sincere or trustworthy. Heaven let her come just close enough to your heart so you could finally learn the difference between true light and a false reflection. This was a profound divine lesson, a mandatory spiritual graduation. It was a critical stage of personal growth you were always meant to complete. And now, my beloved, the intense lesson is finally learned. Her ultimate purpose in the grand story of your life is completely fulfilled. Her season of access to your energy is entirely over. This is exactly why she simply must be exposed right now. Once the hidden purpose of a difficult person is totally complete in your story, heaven automatically removes them from the stage, one way or another. They either gracefully walk away, they foolishly reveal their true, dark self, they tragically sabotage their own plans, They accidentally slip up right in front of you, or heaven forcibly exposes them to the full light. And for this specific woman, the divinely chosen method of removal is absolute exposure. This exposure is not meant to harm her soul, but to permanently protect yours. This exposure is not meant to publicly embarrass her, but to entirely release you from her invisible chains. This exposure is not meant to cause unnecessary chaos in your life, but to bring absolute, undeniable clarity to your mind. Heaven is never cruel. Heaven is perfectly precise. Her heavy energy is simply no longer aligned with your bright path. Her dark intentions no longer match the frequency of your glorious destiny. Her presence is no longer compatible with your massive elevation. This is exactly why heaven is permanently severing the spiritual connection between you two today. Her presence in your life was never actually destroying you, even when it felt like it was. It was actively shaping you. It was training your spiritual muscles. It was refining your pure heart in the fire. It was preparing you for greatness. Every single time you felt that strange discomfort in your home, heaven was actively sharpening your spirit. Every single time you felt that heavy exhaustion, heaven was actively strengthening your inner senses. Every single time her toxic energy tried to enter your home, heaven was actively increasing your divine protection. Every single time she secretly tried to speak against your success, heaven was actively building a higher, thicker shield around your life. You absolutely did not lose a single thing because of her hidden jealousy. You gained massive spiritual maturity. You gained divine awareness. You gained crystal emotional clarity. Do not forget that subscribing is an act of obedience that secures your alignment with the new season. Stay connected to your spiritual growth. You gained unbreakable inner strength. You gained profound, life-altering wisdom. You gained absolute, impenetrable protection. And now, heaven gently smiles at you and says, "My beautiful child, the rigorous training is finally complete. The divine lesson is completely over. Your precious spirit has graduated. Before you leave, sharing this message will multiply your favor and extend the blessing to those who need it. Let the light reach other homes today. Walk forward boldly into your brand new home, into your brand new atmosphere, and into your brand new life. Do not look back at her falling mask. Look forward at the brilliant miracle rushing toward your front door. Her exposure is your final certificate of elevation. If you accept this spiritual graduation, declare your agreement in the comments below. Amen. Let the act of writing these words be your public declaration, sealing this word and serving as an anchor of faith that activates the breakthrough God is bringing to your home. You are entirely free. You are deeply blessed. You are profoundly loved. Step into your light, my child, for your new season has officially begun.